Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to JBPG City for another City Skylines mass transit episode. And you can see that we have a big expansion here to our industrial estate over by the docks. I've been very busy between episodes. I've finally completed the rail network and got our cargo hub here, our rail cargo hub on the waterfront switched on. Now that we have active rail lines, I've also connected up the roads, done a few things. Have we got any ships coming in? No. We've got a ship coming in, but I think that's coming in for the docks. Let's see. Look, here's a train coming in here, look. Dropping off some cargo. Not quite enough to send a ship out yet. So, yeah, let me show you what I've done. Basically, I've added in this little section up here, which is all one way. It's just started to zone in, as you can see. Buildings still going in. I stuck in a helicopter depot for the fire because we're so close to the water. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple of ships coming, one going out and one coming in. Another one coming in as well. Look, it is quite a busy little dock, this. And that spawned a train. Fantastic. So we'll just follow the train for a moment so I can show you the railway line. It goes up and over and around here. And then we get to this point here. Put in a little, pause for a second, put a little sort of split diamond interchange or triangle interchange to connect up to our external connection over there. And then it continues here over the channel, as you can see. Runs along through here, the rail splits, goes underneath, which is a necessary evil, across the top, and then goes to a rail hub just here, so we can distribute freight into the city, in this part of the city, a bit more easily. Has put a bit more traffic on the road, but you know, it's worth it. I do need to just extend that ever so slightly. Have an extra lane for turning. Yeah, for the queuing. There we go. There are traffic lights on that junction. So yeah, the rail hub is just there, and then it'll go back over, and it has to go underneath simply because of this bridge support here. I couldn't make the turn without a bridge support being there. So it meant I couldn't run the railway line through, so I had to go underground just for that section here. But this line is the other line of the station over here. I wasn't sure what to do with it, and in the end I decided just to make an external connection to it. So you can see it kind of runs along here, links up with the rail line there to go over the storm drain and then join up, and that's an external connection just for tourist trains and outside trains, and that's it. And then the road that we had here, I changed this junction a little bit. So before, that bridge came down to this point here, and that there, Barlow Bridge, was where that bridge stopped. And in the end, I took it out and I rebuilt it because I wanted it to go across and feed into a new district just over there. So I had to make sure that it was high enough to go over the rail lines and this little bit of road just here. And that now feeds down there. But then it took it a long way away from the main road for the traffic, so I put these slip roads to get on and off the bridge just here like that. We do have traffic lights on actually. Let's change that. I don't want traffic lights there. Excellent stuff. Some traffic does look like it's trying to shortcut. It thinks it's a bit quicker. Let's stop them from doing that by putting a stop sign in there. There we go. So hopefully we shouldn't see traffic trying to shortcut its way that way anymore, because they'll be having to pause all the time. It might still happen from time to time. Obviously I want them to use that bit underneath. And then the road carries on and runs alongside the railway, but actually goes up a little bit here, just a little bit higher. If the railway drops down ever so slightly, this actually goes up ever so slightly, so that it can then cross over the railway and then feed down here into the industrial estate. So the road stopped about here, and all I've done is literally just connect it forward a little bit longer and then build this new little zone over here. So we are potentially going to have issues getting workers into this area until we can improve transport options into there. We'll work on that. We'll probably have a little low density district over here for people. Make it a low education zone, and then feed workers into this area, so we get a mixture of the unskilled and low skilled workers going in with the high skilled workers as well. Lots of buildings pinging at the moment because we have, as I say, the fire helicopter depot here. We're right next to water, so if there are any fires that need helicopters to go and deal with them, they're right next to a water source. They should be able to deal with that quite quickly. They could also potentially help support this, this area. Then another one for police as well, and then behind that you can see here the road spins around the back, and that's where the police and fire stations are. And then on the corner just here, a little health clinic, just so that there's ambulances for this area if needed. So there we go. There's space for a little bit more zoning, but that's just given us a nice little boost to our industry in this area. What else have I done? Oh yes, well obviously I've started drawing in a new district over here as well, as you can see. So to get underneath the bridge, I've done that little kind of connecty bit that goes underneath there and then around again. So I've started drawing in a new district to fill this space in, and another new district over here. I've also plonked in a software design studio, just because it's one of those buildings that I thought would look kind of cool near the station. Over here, I've made a few changes over here as well. What I've done here is I've added in a whole new district and actually zoned this in Prospect Square, and this is actually going really nicely as well. Dropped in a few individual buildings such as the Expo Centre and I forget what that one is. It's one of the Art Deco buildings. Nanotechnology Centre, there we go. And then next to that I've got the Posh Mall, sorry, Mall of Moderation. Posh Mall is already out there, or the Grand Mall is out there waiting as well somewhere. We've got a zoo just here, opposite a big park. I think there's one other building I dropped in somewhere. Oh yes, over in the corner in Little Canada, I dropped in the Modern Art Museum just over there. Very funky little building. And there we go, so that's what I've done over there. And then to connect that up, what I've also done is then brought this road along, so I had to rework this rail bridge ever so slightly so that I could get it a bit higher, and then just brought this street out and brought this down and connected up to just here. If you remember, we just had this little offshoot here with a couple of these, and then the road stopped about there, and basically I just extended that through so that we have another little transport link over there. Just, more options for our traffic. So that's what I've been up to in the time between episodes, just kind of tweaking things a little bit and getting stuff emptied out that needs emptying out. My cemeteries and these landfills, for example. But it all seems to be working very, very smoothly. Something else I've been doing as well is just terraforming this area a little bit, trying to make it look a bit more natural, trying to blend it back in on these junctions here, so it looks a bit smoother, so more like a natural kind of landmass. And I've also flattened out this little area here. I am going to be building a new farm in here pretty soon, and that's very, very fertile farmland, as you can see by the difference in colour. And if we go into our info views, there you can see very, very fertile land, perfect for farming. We do have a big block just there, but I just don't like the idea of having a farm right next to an industrial park. You wouldn't get that in real life. It would just be so polluted that it would damage, any crops and stuff. I mean, Nicholson Farm's not too bad. It's not as high density as you would have thought, because there's not a huge amount of stuff there, but you can see it looks pretty good. It does look like a genuine kind of farm for the most part. You know, some fields along here, and then we have, you know, a few selection of buildings, you know, some grain storage stuff, large sort of barn sheds, little residential block just for people to work on the farm. We'll do something like that over here, but in a bit more depth, I think. So yeah, our city is really starting to progress very, very nicely indeed, and these changes over here do definitely make a big difference to the way this area looked. It looked a little underwhelming being so small. It was literally just that. It was pretty much our industrial zone over here, and it just didn't seem big enough. I always wanted to obviously add more in, but we had to wait until I'd figured out what to do with the railway primarily, and then the road as well. And now that that's been done, it's enabled me to draw that in, and we still have space around here to add in a lot more as well. So there's nothing to stop us from bringing in another block on this section just here, and then again on this side we've got all of this area, and as I say, we can build maybe a district in this part here for workers, which actually doesn't seem to be a bit of an issue. Let's see. Yeah, we've got some overeducated workers, but most of these places, their jobs are full. We've got this one here that might have just upgraded. So it's got 8 jobs going at the moment. Let's find another building. No jobs available. No jobs available. Got one here. That's got 17 jobs going. So most of these are absolutely fine. There's one or two with some worker shortages, but not too bad. I do think that we can bring in some kind of transport connection down here. You can see there's a lot of traffic on these roads here. I think maybe if we upgrade that there. Just want to see if that helps at all with the traffic. A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, that's okay. We'll leave it like that. Yeah, a lot of traffic coming in this way off the freeway. Look at our slip road over here. It's just steady stream of traffic like that. I think. Well, no, I wouldn't. I thought it might be worth making that the single road and then have this here as a junction, but it wouldn't make a difference. It would still be the same. It's just taking quite a bit of traffic off that road, which I suppose is understandable. I wonder if traffic is shortcutting. No. I was wondering if traffic was shortcutting. You can see it's all switching lanes. And yeah, coming up this way and then going back down that way to get into the city, but it's not. So that works out okay. Yeah, very, very busy. Look at that, all that traffic. I do think maybe we ought to just have a direct connection to that roundabout. I think that would eliminate some of the traffic problems that we have in here where it slows down a little bit. It's mainly this junction. I mean, it's not too bad, if I'm honest. It's not really all that bad. It's not causing, you know, huge long tailbacks, and the ones that they are causing, it's not too bad. It's only taking up one of the lanes, and it is still leaving other lanes free for traffic to move off in the direction. So yeah, maybe we'll just leave it as is. I mean, it's on traffic lights, so they don't have to wait too long before they get the chance to move through again, as you can see. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now, but we may go back and tweak that. So, let's see. Let's continue working on this area over here. Again, because of the location, and it's a limited space, and it's probably going to be high density again, I have gone for quite a uniform kind of road style. Although I am toying with the idea... that's not going to work there, is it? Because it's... yeah, okay. There's nothing to stop me from doing that, though. Yeah, I kind of like that. I just don't know if I want to bring... I suppose I should, really, shouldn't I? Is that really necessary? Just kind of limit my options over here, although I could put a big building in there. Let's run that across. I'm looking at my spacing. I think it's going to be better if I go this way. What gives? Come on. There we go. Yeah, we'll keep that as a big open space so we can plonk something big in that corner, I suppose. So we've got a nice little district just over there. We could do something with that. I don't plan to come across onto this side. It's just a bit overkill, I think. So let's start looking at some buildings that we can drop in. I have gone ahead and dropped in actually a biodome and a hydroponic farm over here by our water facility. Just thought, you know, made sense to have recyclable eco stuff over by our water recycling plants. I don't know. I thought maybe it would make sense in some kind of way to have those there. Maybe not. Let's get a big park in here on the edge, where we have the space. And let's take a look at some of the unique buildings and landmarks that we haven't done so far. I still haven't put the stadium in yet. I want to have a think about where I want the stadium. It needs to have a good transport connection wherever we decide to put it in. There's the Grand Mall. Or Grand Mall. Where can we squeeze this? It won't quite fit there. It's got to go down here somewhere, I think. I think we'll plonk it in just there. Like that. There we go. What else can we drop in? I've already got an opera house, I think. Oh no, I don't. No, it's the opera house looks very similar to the stadium that I dropped in over there. Just a generic stadium. I figured, you know, we can pretend that's an ice hockey arena for Little Canada. Let's see. Trying to find somewhere where it's not going to leave too many unsightly gaps, and I think that actually there is a really good place for it. So if we take that out, we can drop the opera house in just there, like that. That kind of works. And there, just similar shape, obviously a different building, but you can see there is our... It's got a pitch inside, but we can pretend it's an ice hockey stadium for Little Canada over there. What else have we got here? We've got a grand library. won't quite fit in that gap there. Ah, these buildings, they never want to fit wherever I give them space. Alright, what else have we got? Science Centre and an aquarium. Oh, the aquarium. Again, this is a really big building. I might have to rezone or redesign the roads a little bit to make space for one of these. They are just so big and cumbersome. There we go, we can get that in just there. The Theatre of Wonders. Might need to bring that over here somewhere. Already dropped quite a few buildings up in this area. I don't really want to drop too many up there. What about down here? Can I squeeze it into one of these areas perhaps? Not really. Not unless I did some landscaping. I suppose I could do a bit of landscaping here, so we can squeeze it on that corner. Yeah, there we go. Stick it on the corner there, like that. Big old building. Just need to empty that. What else have we got? I don't want anything else too big. We've already dropped in a couple of these buildings. We haven't dropped in this one yet. A little bit too big, I think. And then we're back to kind of our landmarks. So that's okay for those. Let's try and get another botanical gardens in. Oh, it fits perfectly, look. Beautiful. Have I put piping in down here? I can't remember. No, I haven't. Okay, so I need to add pipes. Let's extend these pipes over here. Okay, don't want that going all the way into the into that bit there. We should be fine like that. I think it'll be a little bit tight, but we can get away with it. And let's just connect our pipes up. Okay, there we go. So we have water in that area. Let's get some power across here. Make sure that we have an actual connection somewhere. We'll just do it basically like that. That'll do. Right, I then take them underneath? No. I don't know if this will work actually, if I can get this to go close enough. No. Okay, so we can't go on that side. Where could we put our water and power connection? Well, we could do it over here, I suppose. If I can get close enough. That's going to be awkward again. Tricky, this. Trying to find the right spot. Let's take that there. Let's take it across to there. There we go. Let's start dropping in some zoning. I'm going to want offices in some places. Commercial. Let's surround the Grand Mall with some commercial. It just makes sense to me. We want some residential. Just deciding whether or not I want to have residential next to the railway. Yeah, it will be okay. No, actually, let's take that out. Let's put... put that as an office block all through there. I want more commercial because we don't really have that much, do we? There we go. Let's throw in some more residential along here. And a little bit more commercial in here, I think. There we go. Oh, I need services over here, don't I? So I need police and fire and all the usual suspects. Let's put police on that corner there. Fire on the opposite corner. There we go. Where do I want hospital? Because I want a hospital. I'm still pretty close to a hospital there, actually. Let's just go with another clinic. All that squeeze on the edge. Just. Excellent stuff. Education. We're going to need some elementary schools. Let's put the schools here opposite the park. Let's get the secondary school in first. I've got space for a playground there as well. My usual little thing that I like to do. No. And not there either. But that's okay. There's a big park opposite them, so it's not too bad. How about a bouncy house? Can I get a bouncy house in? Nope. I've watched too much American TV. I've become Americanized. We don't call them bouncy houses. We call them bouncy castles here in the UK. What am I missing? I get the feeling I'm missing something over here. Death care. Let's get a cemetery in. That's my commercial area. There we go. We'll stick that next to the park. And the cemetery needs a crematorium next door. Actually, maybe. Maybe it'd be better suited over here. I do usually like that. Yeah, I like to keep them pretty close to each other, don't I? So in case I have to empty one, it's not a long turnover. Let's move that. Let's put it there on the edge, like that. There we go. That works. That's not too far away. Let's put in some of the other stuff we haven't really played around with for a while yet either. We haven't used the crypto or the cryopreservatory yet. Where can we put that? Let's put that next to the health centre. A cryopreservatory. Oh, it's sending out hers. Interesting. Okay. A medical laboratory. Ooh, that's a new building we could play about with. We haven't done yet. Can't go there. In this corner? Over here, perhaps? Yeah. Stick a medical lab in just there. That's the medical helicopter depots. We haven't dropped any saunas in. These are from the Snowfall DLC. We haven't got any saunas so far. How about a sauna behind the school, perhaps? Gee, no, do we really want fat, sweaty, naked men behind a school? Probably not. It's probably not the best location. Yeah, let's stick a sauna in next to the golf resort. That's the perfect location. What else can we do? Don't need a fire watch tower. No. We still don't have a prison in our city, do we? We've got 305 detained criminals. Actually, yeah, we do with a prison. Where should we put that? Maybe over here. Maybe we could build our prison somewhere over here in that gap. Something's full. Another cemetery's full. I don't know. Just looking around possible locations. Maybe over here. We've got a little bit of space over here. Oh, actually, no. Again, you know, if we want to stick to that kind of realism kind of feel, you wouldn't want to stick a prison right next to a freeway where they could just jump on steal a car and boom, they're gone. You'd want it somewhere a little bit more isolated. Over here would actually be perfect, but it'd be a real pain to try and get a road over there, I think. to move these buildings as well on that corner. How about over here then? Let's take this road here. Let's do that. And then we'll draw that along this way. We'll add in our prison. Just there. Hey, there goes the collection wagon. You know what? I want to watch one of these. I've never watched one of these vans before. See where they go. Is it going to go pick up from... It's going to pick up from a police station, isn't it? I've never watched this process before. Yeah, that is full speed. A little bit of a steep incline there, but couldn't be avoided, unfortunately. Let's see, which police station are we off to? Whoa, look at the traffic on this bridge. Alright, we're going to have to do something about that bridge. I mean, it's partly because we've just zoned in new stuff as well, so I'll let it settle down before we do make any changes. So we've got a lot of new traffic moving into the district. So that's something we do need to be aware of. But yeah, we're going to have to rework that a little bit, I think. Where are we headed? Oh man, look how much the traffic is all queuing. Oh, onto our freeway. Our little ring road around the outside of this big area over here. You try and get close in, and as soon as you get anywhere near buildings, it just throws you all over the place. We're going back to our original part of the city. Look how smooth that junction is now. Now that there's, you know, we did that complete redesign. There's just no traffic there anymore. It flows so efficiently. Very proud and pleased with the way that that's turned out. That's one of the other things I would say is something you have to be very wary of when you build a city. Is, you know, you have to be prepared to go back in and make substantial changes to some of the stuff you did earlier on in your city, because as it grows, it's just not going to work anymore. So there we go. We just picked up from that little centre there. Are we? Oh, we're only 70% loaded, so there are more criminals to pick up. So where are we going to head to this time? It's a bit of a trek, isn't it, from there all the way out to the prison? But yeah, I mean, you saw how bad this junction was originally, and look at it now as we drive through here. Just look how smooth the traffic flow is around here. It's wonderful, you know. And obviously we've diverted some of the traffic that was pouring in there. And are completely overwhelming it with other junctions and other entrance and exit points. But even so, you know, just the way that the traffic flows through that whole section now, it just turns it through there so much quicker. So there's a lot less chance that a jam could develop if traffic got heavy because of the way it can flow. But over here, yeah, we are having a bit of a traffic nightmare. So we are going to have to do quite a bit of restructuring on this section by the look of it. I mean, look at, yeah, this is bad. This is bad traffic. Oh, we're trying to merge. All the traffic is just... Okay, so the biggest problem is we have a triple lane here, I think. Well, it's not the biggest problem, but it's a problem. I've given up, you know, following the police car. I want to get this sorted. Look at how bad this is. Ah, what's he doing in that lane? There we go. We can encourage at least a couple of lanes worth of traffic to move through here. And then we get along here. Most of the traffic's just going straight on. And then this is where it all kind of switches. It's all switching lane here to take that intersection there. That's just gridlock, isn't it? It really hasn't worked well at all. I wonder. Why won't it connect? Normally. I don't want it to curve that way. Why won't it connect just there? Ah! Frustrating. I think as well, maybe part of the problem is that that is one way. That might help. In fact, do I even need to have a second? I don't think I even need to have, if I'm going to do it in, yeah. Let me just take that out completely and just see what happens. In theory, the traffic that wanted to go in that way can now just go in here. But I do need a way up for traffic over here. That's changed. Not enough products to sell. Yeah, it's taking too long to get goods in here. Maybe we need to relocate where that is. Maybe we need to bring that in somewhere over here. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. Maybe bring it in just down here, for example. Oh, our prison does not have power or water. That's not good. Can I actually put water pipes through there? Yes, I can. Okay, and power lines. It's that messing around thing again, isn't it? There we go. Power and water for our prison. Looks like all those vans that we sent out just didn't ended up doing anything because, you know, there was no power, there was no water. They went out and then they just aborted themselves. Look how busy this is. That's insane. I never expected to see anywhere near that kind of traffic. That might help. We're going to get a lot of traffic just changing lanes in weird positions, by the look of it. Look how busy this bridge is. And here as well. Still getting really long tailbacks. Look at the tailback that we're getting. I'm trying to figure out where all of that traffic's trying to go as well. Don't tell me it's all trying to get. It might be trying to get in here. Well, we have this junction here. Can I go underneath? I can that way. Let's see how much traffic suddenly starts turning into Strawberry Street. It might take a while for the traffic to recognise that as a new route. Still getting a lot of traffic that's going in that way. Now we're getting a few cars coming in this way, look. That's kind of working. It's giving us another escape route for our vehicles just here. It's just such a short little escape road there though. I think what I need to do is change that a little bit. That's just offices, isn't it? So if I do that, take that piece out, and that piece out. Take that piece out. There we go, get a proper junction. See if that helps. I also think I might need to upgrade the roads and have like a... Instead of having this, actually have more of this stuff, perhaps. More of this 2-lane freeway that the traffic can just drive faster. I don't know, I need to have a real think about that. Traffic problems to deal with on our new areas over here. That's definitely something to have a think about. Right, speaking of new areas, it's time for us to add in a couple of subscriber requests for district names and so on and so forth. So, let's see, what do we have today? Got a request for a residential district. Let me just take a look at my districts. I don't have any districts left, I think, that are just residential. I think we've named them all now. Oh no, we've got Willow District over here. And we've also got Myrtle Hills as well. Let's go with Willow District. And the request comes from Donald Day, who has requested the district be called Adamsville. So we will rename this district here. That's policies. There we go. There we go. So we have a new district there for Donald. And I've also had a request for a specific building to be named as well from Marcus Looney. Has requested that a fire station be called Hutch. So I think where would be a good point for that? See, I'm toying with the idea of over here, perhaps, but I get the feeling it would be better putting it near a residential rather than the industry. So let's look for a good low density one. Here we go. Over here in Broad Heights. So we'll rename this as Hutch Station, just there, inside Adamsville. There we go. A dedicated fire service there, and we'll actually rename the road as well. We'll call it Hutch Street. There we go. So we've got Hutch Street there for our fire service, and that runs across the splitting across the district just there. I think that actually is the boundary point of the district. Oh, it is. Look, it's right on the boundary. So there we go. Hutch Street is not only the road for Hutch Fire Station, but it's also the boundary between two separate districts, between Broad Heights and Adamsville. So that's worked out quite nicely. So there we go. That's our subscriber requests for this episode. We will continue to add in more. And don't forget, if you would like to see yourself in the city in some way, shape or form, be it a road name, a district, a building, a transport service, whatever you'd like, let me know. And if we can accommodate that, we will do so. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more JBPG City and our mass transit playthrough very soon.